Why do we call it? Why don't we just call it knife? Knife is knife, right? Why are we using our extra letters when we don't need to? We might save those letters. Starving children somewhere need those letters in their alphabet soup, you know? This could be a funny day. Oh, Lord, you're moving all over the place. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing innocent people. Did you, no, that is the skipper of a Colombian drug boat in 1970 something. Well, I kill you. No, they wouldn't stop, and they were coming out of Colombia, and the Coast Guard was on top of them, and they kept ordering them to heave to, and they would not. They kept on going and going, and then the daylight comes up, and the skipper keeps telling them to heave to come over, to pull over. You have to stop, skipper. You have to stop, and he just didn't respond on the radio. He just ignored the Coast Guard. But it's a full cutter. It was a 240 footer, I think, and they kept ignoring them, kept ignoring them, kept ignoring them. Then the Coast Guard worked to the State Department. State Department worked through Colombia government and said, this vessel is inbound to the United States. We're going to stop it. You need to give them permission. We are ready. You found your keys? Uh-oh. Got to get all the bells of pot out of there. We're going hot. I want to be the first one to tell you. Thank goodness it's Friday.
Hey.
The week has been painfully long and not overly productive, in my personal opinion. And goodness, it's been filled with so much negativity that it's difficult for a normal person. That is, if we could find someone who qualifies as a normal person. I'm not sure there's anyone left like that. It will be difficult for a normal person to navigate through the landmines that have been planted. They've got them everywhere. Anyway, the weekend is upon us, and with any luck, I will not be dragged back into the real world until Monday morning. No news outlets. No. Howdy to y'all. I'm Rayford Brown, and this, my friends, is live and local real talk.
Happy Friday. I'm Chris Marks.
And good morning. I'm Lee Barrows.
Well, second thing is kind of dense fog out there in a lot of places, so be careful. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. Second thing, I got an apology. I got to offer an apology. I referred to a person that was making news in a not so nice, albeit accurate way yesterday. But as it turns out, I offended Theo Jr. and a bunch of Theo's friends. Our friend, the owner of Theo Jr., and a bunch of other of his friends, Tim the Donkey Man, loves jackasses, the four-legged ones. I likely hurt his feelings with the reference I made to. For that, Tim and Theo Jr., I beg your forgiveness.
Okay.
You had to have been listening to the show yesterday to understand anything I just said, but Jimmy understands, I'm sure, out there.
Okay.
Y'all doing okay this morning? What's on your minds? Anything good? I mean, this is 2 in a row this week. two government annexation meetings at opposite ends of the county. The county, the city of Jacksonville got embroiled into a annexation mess, and the town of Holly Ridge has been embroiled for many months now into an annexation mess. And so they have both come to the conclusions we're going to annex them because the people there want it.
The who want it?
The people.
No, the
The
people.
people who own it.
Oh, thank you.
Those are the only ones that count, as we have found out, as we learn. The only people that count in an annexation request are the people who actually own that piece of property. The people around it, they don't count.
Nope.
Nope, not at all. They do have a say, and they can voice their opinions into what goes onto those pieces of property because that could affect their property. But being whether it's in the city limits or not in the city limits, got nothing to do with, they don't have a dog in that fight.
I'm going to have to agree. I watched them both, and quite frankly, what the citizens' opinions were did not count.
They don't. They really don't. Not in the bare bones facts of guilty or not guilty. Nobody else. It's like a jury. 12 people count. That's it. Guilty or not guilty. They're the only ones that count. The opinions of the other 300 million people in this country do not count and have absolutely nothing to do with what a jury decides.
Well, Lee, I know you got something to say, but but before that, let me just say the same thing. Once these politicians are elected to local, state, or national, at that point and moment in time, the people that vote don't matter.
I disagree 100%.
Why?
And I think that you're trying to put a bad spin on anyone that's elected. People are elected and they go into positions and they have hard decisions to make. This thing last night with Holly Ridge was well representative by the folks of Holly Ridge. I think they did an awesome job with expressing their concerns. I applaud those that got up and spoke last night. But to say a politician is bad and doesn't care, an elected
Well, he didn't say they were
official.
bad. He didn't mention they were
No,
bad.
what you were saying that once that people's voices didn't count. What was it exactly you said? You made it sound like
I
that.
said-
Pretty much the
because-
same thing I said.
Once they are in those seats, and if they have, I should have said this, when they have these public hearings and the people come and speak, they fall on deaf ears.
I wouldn't say that. I think that they hear both sides. They're in that position where they have to make a decision. I've seen it happen with the county commissioners where they've had to make hard decisions, which upset a group of people. So it's hard all the way around. I applaud both sides. I think both sides presented well. I think the town of Holly Ridge people went over and above with their concerns, and I think they did it in a very respectful way last night. I don't know all the general details on the other side, but I do understand that this is a matter of it was going to be built regardless, just like the one on Blue Creek Road with the county. So the city, Jacksonville, the city of Holly Ridge said, why not take advantage and get the tax dollars from both properties? So that's what I see.
So what I heard last night and what I saw last night, and we were conversing
Yes,
back
we were
and forth.
conversing back and forth.
One of the problems with that, and it's technical, from an aspect of the audio didn't match the video.
Yeah,
So
it
the
got-
audio-
All we're looking at was
it
just
got
a
bad.
mess.
It got bad for a while,
It
didn't
got
it?
bad because the audio was way ahead of where the people were speaking. So, the two representatives from the fire department spoke intelligently.
Yes, they were very good.
They spoke of the issues that they face. They brought up good points. Mrs. Hall, I think
Pamela.
Pamela.
Pamela. You're talking
Pamela.
about Pamela,
In
city
my own personal
councilwoman?
opinion, she
Councilwoman.
was totally confused in what she was saying. I personally, my own personal opinion, she believes that, and this is her belief. So I say, that's fine. That's your belief. This is my belief.
Mhm.
You're going to annex this area. You're going to build a whole bunch of homes, and you are counting on these people that are going to buy the homes to build businesses. Give me a break. Ain't going to happen. That's not. And then for her to say, why don't you people in this audience put a store on that corner and that corner and that corner and that corner?
So are they annexing? Help me out here. Was she proposing proposing this annexation because it would cause people to build businesses?
Yes.
Because this is not what this annexation is about. It's about people building homes,
The
right?
people that will be coming will, in her hopes, build businesses.
business. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you weren't talking about the councilwoman hall. You were talking about one of the participants in
No.
the town hall, whose last name was Hall.
That's her
And-
No,
daughter.
Pamela
Right,
Hall,
right.
The lady on the board in the purple.
Oh, Pamela Hall, she's city council, right?
Okay, she said that.
Okay.
And she said,
Councilman.
yes,
Hall.
Councilman Hall. And she said, I built a business. I know I will go through all the building permits and the health department. And I know all these things that you have to deal with. Why don't you people put a store up here, there, and everywhere?
Why?
Well, that's mom and pops, and mom and pops are becoming a thing of the past now, unfortunately.
But that's what she brought up. That would be brought in by these people that are going to buy these homes.
Now, my understanding is with the developer, once all that happens, is already talking about putting businesses in that area. There was even talk of a grocery store going in. Holly Ridge does not have a grocery store.
Mhm.
And there was a talk of some other things. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think the city council is still working out an agreement with the developer, because there was talk last night where the developer was asking 50 years and the town said 30. And so I don't
Years
know
for
all the
what?
details on that. Of being the responsible. I don't know, Rayford. The problem is with the audio. The audio, you could hear the speakers fine.
Mhm.
The city council, it's like they mumbled when they talked. And whenever they took a vote, everybody's head was down. You couldn't really, all you would hear is 3-2. But it was very hard to distinguish. Yes, yes. In fact, the very first motion that they made,
There's a bunch of people out there don't know mic presence. That
Well,
know how to work a mic.
the very first motion they made, I couldn't even understand what the motion was on. So I was texting somebody that was there, what was that motion for? And Chris and I were like, it was hard to keep up with it. I just want to say I understand both sides, and I do give kudos to the residents of Holly Ridge that spoke so eloquent. They did a fantastic job last night. There was very little hoot and hollering, I guess you could say. There was a little bit here or there, and one lady did get up to speak in favor of it. And some people started giving her a hard time. And she said, look, I gave you your chance. You give me mine. And it settled back down again. But I understand right before the final vote was taken that it seemed like there was an influx of Holly Ridge PD coming in. And I guess, they just wanted to make sure everything was fine. But all in all, I think it was an excellent, excellent presentation last night with the people from the city of Holly Ridge. They did very good.
I applaud the city residents,
Mhm.
the board. Let me go to the former Navy chief. His mind was made up from the get-go. Those people wasted their time talking because he went like this. Hi, I've lived here for 9 years. I'm a former Navy chief, and I'm a realtor, and whatever people say is not true. I'm not making any money as a realtor from this, yada, 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 yada. His mind was made up.
Well, there was a lot of accusations thrown last night saying that some of the council people were realtors, and there was accusations thrown that, whether true or not, that they would make a lot of money off of this annexation. But the thing about it is, it's going to be built regardless, just like the one in the county. It's going to be built regardless.
I understand you trying to make that point,
Right.
but it falls on deaf ears for the realist out here.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be built. It doesn't matter. What matters to the people, or it should matter to the people in the affected area, that would be
Right.
Holly Ridge,
Right.
not the area that's going to be annexed, because there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
It's swampland. It's nothing. It's zero. Its value is only dependent upon if people buy property and build homes, period. They can build all the homes they want. The tax base that everybody screams about, there's a whole lot of stuff that's going to have to come out of that tax base.
Right.
The value of that land is not very valuable in the big picture here. Right now, it's not very valuable, just a piece of land.
Mm-hmm.
Until it's developed, it doesn't have any major tax value to the town of Holly Ridge. It will, once it's sold, it has zero tax value now, by the way. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Almaza owns it. And they don't pay taxes. Once it's sold, Onslow County will get tax dollars out of it. If it sits there as dead land, they get tax dollars out of it. If it's annexed by the city of Onslow County, has to do nothing to get that tax dollars out of it. You understand that, right?
Well, that's
Holly Ridge, once it's annexed, will have to provide any fire protection, any law enforcement protection, any of this. They have to provide all of this stuff for it.
Mm-hmm.
Until there is a piece of property that is sold, signed, sealed, and delivered, where there's nobody who can get out of it, an option to purchase means nothing except you can collect a few $100s or whatever in case you back out.
Well, what I would like, because I've really not heard that side of it,
Mhm.
I would like a detailed plan by the developer. What exactly are you going to do?
And
What exactly?
I can tell you that I will build 100 homes out there, and they're going to cost $500,000 each. I will tell you that right now. I'll put it on paper right now.
But
It's not
Rayford,
binding.
the agreement has to be,
It's not
it has to be
binding.
signed, just like with what they did on Blue Creek Road. They have an agreement already in place. This is what you're going to do. Any changes to that
Who owns
have
it?
to be,
Who owns the property out there?
I don't know all those details,
I mean,
Rayford.
somebody.
I'm just saying that,
The people
you
who
know,
own the property can make that request, and they will be held responsible for it. Somebody who's going to be buying it, has not signed it, doesn't have an exchange of money, they're not responsible
I'm just
for that.
saying that there's two sides to it. And we heard last night the side of the residents of Holly Ridge. They did a fantastic job. But I also heard accusations being thrown. Same thing with the county commissioners,
You're
accusations
gonna
thrown
hear
against
that,
them.
and those are
Right.
generally a bunch of BS. When
That's what I'm saying.
well, that is standard operating procedure. Yeah,
That's
you're
right.
gonna get some money out of this, aren't you, huh, Mr. Mayor,
Right.
Mr. Council people, Mr. Commissioners? Y'all gonna make some money on the side. I mean, I heard that the mayor of Wilmington back in the day, way back in the day in the '70s, when they were pushing for Cablevision there.
Mhm.
That's what it used to be called.
That's-
Cablevision.
yeah, it was
It was
Cablevision.
Cablevision.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
they're pushing
I remember that
when they're pushing for
Cablevision.
Cablevision, the city of Wilmington had to sign off on it. And the city of Wilmington, the allegations were made, but the mayor is going to get free service. The mayor is going to get this because he's pushing for this. He's going to be given free cable service, which was a lie.
Right.
But people make those kinds of claims. It's always been that way. It will always be that way
That's Kyle calling.
because people just don't.
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know.
just saying that, you know, I hate it for everybody, both sides. It's just, they're hard decisions.
It's too bad you can't take the politics out of it.
Well, politics will always be there, no
That's
matter
what I know. It's kind of like outhouses, isn't it? Hey, Kyle, how are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're
Yes.
loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Good morning, Kyle.
So I've got good morning, Mr. Marks,
Good morning,
and,
Kyle.
and good morning, Lee.
Good morning, Kyle.
So, the Blue Creek Pony Farm.
You're
You still there,
breaking
Kyle?
up, Kyle. I don't know where you are.
Kyle, are you on your speakerphone or?
If you're on a speakerphone,
All right, give us a call back, Kyle. I one of the things that I mentioned last night in our conversation
Right.
is I deal with facts and logic. When you have two of the fire department people saying we have water pressure problems now, we had a problem putting out a fire.
yeah.
We're counting on help from Camp Lejeune, from Surf City, from North Topsail, from Jacksonville, for these things, and yet you're going to build this stuff, and they brought up on Wassa.
But Chris, what are the plans by the developer to fix that?
They didn't offer the plans of the developer to fix
See,
that.
we don't know. It's just like with the place in the city of Jacksonville, they had already gone through the process.
Would you not think that you would get this horse before that cart and making your plans, your
that's what I
presentation?
say. I'd love to see the plans from the developer. I really would, because I just don't see where anybody's going to go, oh, I'm going to build this and we'll worry about water and rescue later.
Well,
I'm sorry,
again-
you don't believe that happens? It happened right here in 1957.
1957,
Yeah,
Radford.
it happens. It happens with regularity.
Well, we've put so many codes and regulations into being since then. So
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't
no,
mean to
I'm
interrupt.
good. You go.
I just when the assistant police fire chief said summer house is not being done being built. There's 300 more homes that are going in there. That development's already done. There's 2 more developments that have not been built. They're going to have water. That's
And
going to
these
be
are
on
places that are
Wassa.
already in the town
They
limits.
are already in the town of Holly Ridge.
Has anybody spoken with Wassa to find out what they plan on doing?
Yeah.
One of them said that in Summer House, he had a busted pipe. Down the road, they had a busted pipe, and they haven't fixed them yet.
It's
Yet they're going
Kyle
to pick
again.
up they're going to pick up all these new homes.
But what does Wassa plan to do with what they've got going right now?
Kyle, please call back and then just give us a minute to get to you, would you please? Because you're just hanging up too quickly.
I would have liked to have.
Well, some of the concerns that the residents brought up last night, of course, was the fire rescue EMS. And we heard a very sad story about one gentleman's father that died during the snowstorm that he said it took Onslow County EMS 45 minutes to get there. And the fire department in Holly Ridge, did the CPR, trying to do what they can. Unfortunately, it was during a snowstorm. And I do believe that Holly Ridge and Onslow County, I do not know, they've already got an agreement in place, do not know the details, but maybe with the growth that's anticipated and the growth that's happening now, maybe the county of Onslow needs to put a rescue squad in there permanently in that area. I don't know the details though, that maybe they already have something worked out. And the snowstorm, it was a very unusual event, but my heart went out to that gentleman that lost his father.
Yes,
I know they
heard
brought
that.
up, oh, it was horrible. They brought up the water volume that last week they had 2 different incidents in the town with the water volume being low. I understand there was a broken pipe. There was concerns of taxes going up eventually. And of course, traffic, Holly Ridge has only got 1 traffic light. And then there was a lot of environmental concerns concerning the land that's adjacent to the
It's
tract
going to
land.
be annexed.
that
They
to
have
be
already
annexed.
voted to annex it.
Right.
So we're through with it.
Well, I'm talking about a tract of land that's near that supposedly has some environmental concerns, and there was people saying what's going to happen 15 to 20 years from now when some of that bad soil infiltrates the area that's already been built.
Section 2.
That
Mhm.
stuff has been there since World War II. Correct?
Well, my understanding from listening to the developer talk at one time, and this was last month, that all that property where they're proposing building has been environmentally tested and is fine.
Yeah.
But like I say, I
Show me the-
have to
just
have
show me the testing then.
I
It's
have
as
to
simple as
have-
that.
I have to see the other side of this.
Yeah.
But I will say I applaud the Holly Ridge residents last
Mhm.
night, just like I applaud the Blue Creek residents last night for what they had to
Sure.
say. They did an excellent job.
Okay.
Okay,
Very
so
good.
let me say that the one other thing is that a member who spoke as a resident of Pender County, but he is on the
Brad
council,
George, he's a county commissioner.
county commissioner of Pender County, brought up the fact that the Holly Ridge board said that they had spoken to the Pender County board, and he spoke.
And he said,
They did not.
whoops, somebody didn't tell the truth.
I'm not really sure about all that. Was also confusing to me too, but he came in as a private citizen and spoke before the Holly Ridge Council last night, and he didn't come in as a commissioner, but he came in voicing his concerns about the schools. Unfortunately, we can't plan ahead on schools. We can't plan ahead on traffic. That comes under DOT.
Okay,
The schools
if-
come
if-
under the
if he's
school board.
speaking as a Pender County resident,
Yes.
it's a different story. You understand
Right.
here. Why? Because those guys are going to be living on that side of the Pender County line,
Right.
and those houses that are to be built, if they are ever built, Pender County has a dog in that fight.
That's right. Exactly.
Pender County has to build a school.
Right.
They already
Right.
are.
I understand.
Well,
K through
I
8.
will say, I'm sorry, Chris.
That's why
Cut you
he's
off.
concerned.
Oh, well, there was a gentleman, I think his last name is Pettit. He's running for, was it NC House against Carson Smith?
I have no
I
idea.
tried to look it up last night, couldn't find anything on it. He spoke very eloquently last night in favor of the Holly Ridge residents. So I'm very
Okay,
impressed.
let's see if we can get this call.
Yes.
Is this Kyle by any chance?
Hey, Kyle. Kyle. Or listener.
I don't hear me, but I got a lot of radio static.
There you go.
Okay, hold on just a minute, everybody. Kyle, talk to me. I'm trying to set some levels here because everything been screwed up. Go ahead. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me,
Yes, sir.
Kyle?
Yes, can you hear me, Rayford?
You're loud and clear. Thank you. Now we can go.
Yeah, there was a lot of radio traffic. Whatever it was cool because it was fun to listen to. Whatever was coming in.
No idea where it's coming from.
Well, yeah, you do. But I've got a dog in this fight. I live out here in Southwest, and so the big rub was, of course, Tidewater. It was gonna happen one way or another, of course.
Mhm.
But with it being county R15 zoned, it was limited to being kind of similar to what's around there or here. The unfortunate thing was the satellite annexation happened, and that happened under the table. That's what I saw when I was there at the meeting. Then it rolled into the zoning vote, which bumped it up from an R15 county to a RMS HD 25 units per acre. So an R15 would be kind of acceptable out this way, which is equivalent to maybe 8.5, 9 units per acre. But they rolled right into voting for high density, which is 25 units per acre. So that's kind of the rub out here.
Yep, I understand.
Mhm.
Because here's what you're alluding to. I'm sure is not only the because of the increased volume of traffic. If you go from a 15 units per acre to 25 units per acre, you're going to probably have 50 cars at each place instead of 20. And so you're going to have a lot of cars per acre, right? And those cars are going to be trying to get on the road. Now, the city doesn't have any control over the big roads out there. Those are state maintained. The city can only control the
Right.
roads that are in that subdivision, period. Bottom line, that's it. Now, the county and the city will have to try to negotiate with the Department of Motor Vehicles, Department of Transportation, sorry, the DOT. They work at the state level in Raleigh, and they work on roads all over the entire North Carolina countryside. They do
Right,
those
yeah.
roads. You can build all the properties you want, as those are very familiar at all with Mayfair in Wilmington on the Military Cutoff Road, which used to be a 2-lane road. And then they built a city out there, basically. And then the DOT, DOT is still catching up with it.
Sure, but we would also like to preserve our area and what we bought out here. Everybody has a choice. You choose to buy a place in the city, or you choose to buy a place in the county, and you get benefits of either or.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is interesting. This satellite annexation, over 2.5 miles from the city border, and I know that the law and the rule is 3 miles. They can do that if the owner of the property requests, and that's of course what happened here.
Yep.
But what does that look like? So they promise. When I say they, the city promises to do that before. Again, the carriage before the horse. How does fire come out here? How does police come out here? And there was a good point at that meeting. What's the closest firehouse to here? When I say here, Blue Creek and Pony Farm.
What's the closest firehouse to your house? You live out there, right?
Southwest, of course.
Southwest.
But and so they say, it's a selling point. If you were watching that, the council, they threw up the softball to the developer. There was only 1 or 2 of them there, right? And they threw up softballs, and that's why I'm disappointed. But so they say there is a mutual agreement. Of course, we have our Southwest volunteer firehouse that's going to respond. But is the city going to back fund that or front fund that? Because they do, when I say they, the firehouse, they do a annual fundraiser, but they also send out letters, and we give money, like physical money. Our residents out here, we drop off cash because we support our firehouse. So are they going to be taxed more? Of course. And then a good point was those first responders are coming in on their own time, or their own vehicles, on a small road, just to get to the apparatus to go possibly. So I'm just thinking forward. So that's a big road. There was nothing wrong with them staying in the county and staying in the R15 zoning, regulations. Of course. But for Jacksonville to come and say, hey, okay, there was all I saw on that panel was, okay, softball, here's money, softball, without any buy-in.
Okay. Are you looking for a thought process here from me?
No, I'm just talking about how we feel out here in Southwest.
Which I totally understand, and I totally agree with you that those can be some issues. And one of the reasons they don't have forced annexation allowed by cities anymore, it has to be request by a majority of or the total landowners, and generally trying to
and
get
I appreciate that 100%.
Trying to get a if you build I don't know 500 homes, build 100 homes in any area, and you try to, at that time, you get the homeowners to all agree as a majority to be annexed, is going to be a tough proposition for most cities. They're not going to all want to do that. Now, if you get the one landowner before it's developed to get that annexation taken care of, then you're already way ahead of the game as far as the city is concerned and as far as the landowner is concerned. The landowner will have a lot of benefits that he can offer to those residents. You're going to be living in the city. You're going to have garbage picked up. You're going to have water and sewer provided by the city.
But you're not in the city. I mean, again, my question is, you're not in the city when you're 2.5 miles outside the city limits. And what's the closest response for a city fire?
Yeah, let me get on that. You are inside the city limits. You are not in the proper city itself, is what you're saying. You are a satellite annexation, which means you have all of the city privileges that they do inside the traditional area. The problem comes to me for the city, and which reflects upon whatever the residents that are there. And because, I come from law enforcement too, but I got to run 2.5 miles to respond to a call. I'm sorry. Wait a minute now. I'm a city cop. Our city limits here way back in the day were like a mile long. And now I got to drive 2.5 miles just to get across town, across that traffic. I mean, I'm sorry. In the afternoon or the early morning hours when there are wrecks in between me and there, I got to get there and around it. I may as well go to Wilmington and come back on I-40, right? That's the way I would be looking at it. That's an extreme, but that's the way I would look at it. So now, fire protection, yes, you got a great volunteer fire department there. Your volunteer fire department is equipped to generally handle one fire at a time. You've just added how many homes out there to be added? They're not going to be able to handle it. We know that. A firehouse will have to be built by the city out there. They may as well plan on building a substation for the police department too.
Yeah. So like you spoke of yesterday, or Lee did, bringing up the Holly Ridge proposal for annexation. The planning board voted to approve that, right, in Holly Ridge.
Yes, they did.
The planning board unanimously voted to request or follow a denial of this. So what is the purpose, and what does the Jacksonville City Council have a planning board for? And it was very interesting, and it was back and forth. So they talked about all the pros and cons, and they unanimously voted to recommend to the council denial of this annexation. But what what was also disheartening? Mr. Sammy, the mayor, he sat there and he already had his mind made up. But even more disheartening was when he said, "I haven't even been to Pony Farm and Blue Creek and Pony Farm for years, so I don't even know what that looks like. I went out there last time. My parents grew up out there or something." That was very disheartening.
Just Kyle, keep in mind that Mayor Phillips, he doesn't have a vote unless there's a need for a tie. So
I know, but he runs the show.
Yeah, he's kind of like the referee at the time.
Yeah.
But, well, everybody has, especially the mayor, has a vote if he opens his mouth, of course. So that's a vote in and of itself. And it was very disheartening to us for him to say, "Yeah, I haven't even been out that way in years."
I'm gonna throw a really good one for Lee here.
Go ahead.
And for all of you,
Beat
folks,
me up.
For all of you, no, this is up your alley.
Right.
How's this going to impact? You got to wait a minute now. Let's listen.
Chris giving me the
Pay
side eye.
attention. Pay attention. When how many homes are going to be built out there in this place?
Well, their selling point was 400, 400 to 500.
Okay, cool.
And that was approved by the county, but then it rolled right into. So that was a softball. It's only going to be 4. And then a question was asked by us: what are you really going to do?
Okay.
And
let me get to my point here. Let me get to my point. Let's say there's 400. Say there's 600. I don't care how many you put out there.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have those homes. You're going to have two voting adults in those 2 homes. Now you know where I'm going, don't you, Lee? They're going to have 2 voting adults in that home. That's 2 more people. What precinct is it going to go in? Is it going to be its own precinct? It won't be big enough for its own precinct. But where will it spill over to? City of Jacksonville down
Probably
like
Jacksonville
Norton.
01 unless they develop a new precinct, but I would think Jacksonville 01.
And that means
Well, it's,
that actually that you would pick up residents who actually live and vote.
Versus
Jacksonville.
Camp
Yes,
Lejeune.
so what's your
there you
point?
go.
Versus Camp Lejeune, which is
Versus
Ward one,
Camp
right?
Lejeune, which nobody votes in.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, Rayford. So,
So y'all, somebody needs to examine
I
some
don't
of the
think their
voters here.
decisions were made just solely on that.
money in the book, but and that's exactly how it was,
Yeah.
150 years ago as well. So,
Kyle, thank you, sir.
Very good points,
Thanks,
Kyle.
Kyle.
Thank you.
Thanks for bearing with us this morning. We got you straight.
You have a blessed weekend.
thank you so much.
Yeah, you take care.
I like Kyle.
I do too.
I really
Kyle and
like
I can-
Kyle.
we,
He's
we,
so
'cause
good.
we see eye to eye on a whole bunch
Yeah,
of stuff out there.
yeah.
Can you see me now? You
Can
might
you
not
see
be
me
able
now?
to for long. There's a problem this morning, especially in low-lying areas around bodies of water. So if you're traveling to Wilmington, if you're traveling to Swansboro back and forth, you may have some issues with fog. Dense fog advisory is in effect until 10 o'clock this morning. Slow down. Back away from the cars in front of you. If you can read their license plate, you are way too close.
That's right.
And if you're planning on spending some time on the water, make sure you know your waters and make sure your navigation gear is working, especially if you try to navigate an inlet. If you don't know what's going on, you might not see those buoys out there. You might not be able to see the markers. There you go. 10 o'clock, it should clear out. There's also a small craft advisory in effect, just to add a little bit of hate to this discontent through late tonight. Offshore today, southwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots, east 5 to 7 feet every 7 seconds. Sounds and rivers rough, patchy, dense fog, a slight chance of rain this afternoon. Visibility less than a mile. Saturday, northerly winds 5 to 10, becoming northeasterly in the afternoon tomorrow. Seas 2 to 4, sounds and rivers a light chop, a chance of rain in the morning, then rain likely in the afternoon. Sunday, northerly winds, but the fish don't care. It's all right. You can go fishing as long as you don't have thunderstorms offshore. Sunday, northerly winds 10 to 15, becoming northwesterly 20 to 25, gusts to 30 in the afternoon, seas 3 to 5 feet, sounds and rivers a moderate chop, increasing to rough in the afternoon, rain likely mainly in the morning.
Okay, today we have a chance of rain and thunderstorms, mainly before 3 p.m. Mostly cloudy with a high near 78, a southwest wind 7 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 25. Tonight, a slight chance of rain, mostly cloudy with a low around 52. Tomorrow, 70% chance of rain, mainly after 10 a.m., mostly cloudy with a high near 66. And Sunday, rain mainly before 1 p.m., mostly cloudy with a high near 57. So I'll have a chance today to go put out my weed and feed in the front yard before the rain starts.
You're going to feed the weeds?
I'm going to feed weeds.
They're green, aren't they?
I got those like
I do too.
purple, those
Oh,
weeds
that
that
just
have
adds
like
a little color.
the
That's
purple
pretty.
flowers
Yeah.
on
Oh,
them.
that's pretty.
I think they have to do with the clover, is what I was researching yesterday. But I mean, no.
They're weeds, though.
Out there in the southwest part of Onslow County, Randy out there this morning, bright and early he was,
Randy.
63 degrees, 93% humidity, winds out of the west, 2 to 5 where he was, cloudy, nothing in the rain gauge. Nobody had anything in the rain gauge here in Onslow County. Lee from the Back Swamp, he's left the Back Swamp. He's gone to the suburbs of the Black Swamp this morning. He's in Columbia, South Carolina. He
Ooh.
reported 68 degrees, 82% humidity, south-southwesterly winds 7 to 24 miles per hour. He's in Columbia. He's taking a cooking class dealing with barbecue.
What?
He's got a special
Wait,
barbecue
wait
cooking
for
class.
me.
There. Too late. He's there.
Oh, that's where my brother lives.
But I also told him to
Call
bring back
him.
some samples of the sauce because
Yes.
he says the guy guards the sauce like his Fort Knox type stuff. So I said, bring it back. We'll analyze it. We'll figure it out. Dale and Carol over there in River Bend, 63 degrees, 92% humidity, calm, no wind. Joe in the Borough, 57 degrees, 99% humidity. Winds from the south at 3 miles per hour, 29.62 inches of mercury. Ward over in Cedar Point, it was, I don't know whether it was 54 or 64 degrees. Must have been 64 degrees, 99% humidity. Winds out of the southwest. His wife said they were kind of breezy outside. She came in chasing a dog that got lost for a while. 29.86 inches of mercury, and it's falling. Over in Onslow Bay, our buddy Ken. Our boy Ken's got a great story. I will share it at the next ham meeting. In Onslow Bay, 59 degrees, 99% humidity. And Lady Blue Lee from the Woodlands, she had
In the city.
62 degrees. Still full of traffic crap out there on that Gum Branch Road, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. It's 95% humidity, east-southeasterly winds at 4 miles per hour, 29.77 inches of mercury. And falling here in the studio in the country club region, it was 58 degrees. It is still 58 degrees, 99% humidity, east-southeasterly winds. And no, that was somebody else. Yeah, this east-southeasterly winds have been kind of light all morning. They're now switched around to the south-southwest. And 29.65 inches of mercury, and it's steady up in Rhode Island. Be thankful, it's 24 degrees, no wind. They got 2 inches of snow on the ground and no new snow, 29.94 inches of mercury and falling. In Vermont is way cold. 35 inches of snow on the ground.
Ooh.
And more coming today. They're predicting up to 12 more
Northeast
inches
is getting
today.
blasted.
They got 3 feet on the ground, 35 inches on the ground now.
Yeah,
And they're expecting another foot today.
I was looking at the weather map for the weekend, and the Outer Banks may get a few flurries out of this.
Yeah, they stick.
Yeah,
That's good.
it'd be too warm.
Okay. All right, we've done annexation to death.
I love Chris's face when I say I disagree. He looks at me like, what?
You may as well have slapped him. You know that.
No.
But yeah, I love our conversations, our banter back and forth.
Just watch
but
out for your tires.
he just kills me when I say I disagree. He looks at me like, what?
More than
Thank you,
300
Chris.
students up there in Virginia were suspended after staging a student-led anti-ICE walkout that spilled off campus and drew a police response last week, and they're planning to do it again. Prince William County Public Schools confirmed 303 students had been suspended as of yesterday afternoon during the student-led walkout at Woodbridge High School. Principal Heather Abney said students left the building to express their views on an issue that is important to them. They don't, nothing.
Wait, weren't we supposed to have walkouts today?
There was actually something posted again last night
On Facebook.
for the Southwest school area about
Good luck out there.
walkouts.
Y'all stay in class.
Abney explained that while walkouts are a form of expression, all expressions are not good. Students did not remain on school grounds and instead left the campus in violation of the rules. Actions have consequences. The Prince William County Police Department was called to manage traffic in the area and to provide supervision. After the suspensions, an Instagram account promoting the students' anti-ICE movement, dubbed ICE Out, was launched by, boy, they're really smart, aren't they? Was launched by students to promote another walkout. Those are students that should be in the slow learner classes. If you didn't learn from the last go round, shame on you. Planning to party in Croatia. A lot of people go to Croatia. I've seen a lot of stuff on it. It's got some beautiful beaches there, apparently. Some of the videos that I've seen, great locations. Beware that buying booze will require some special scheduling on your part. Yep, buddy. The nightlife in Croatia's second largest city could soon look quite a bit different for visitors on vacation getaways. The city of Split, that's the name of it, that's the way to spell it anyway, is proposing a ban on the sale of alcohol between the hours of 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. You won't be able to go to the liquor store and buy any alcohol between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. Licensed venues, however, such as bars, restaurants, and nightclubs, will be exempt from that. You'll have to go to the bar, go to the nightclub, or go to a restaurant with a license that can serve booze to get a drink. The city's minister of, do you see something financially involved here? I don't know. The city's minister of economy said the proposal is primarily for the health of their citizens, especially children and young people, to preserve public order and protect the environmental and cultural heritage. So, the bottom line, buy your booze before 8 o'clock or just enjoy your spirits and split in a local pub, nightclub, or restaurant.
Well,
In case
there
you
you
want to
go.
go to Croatia. I'd like to go to Croatia. It's a beautiful country.
Prince Andrew might want to after
Yeah.
spending part of his birthday in jail.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah.
You know,
How do you feel when your brother kicks you out? I'm sorry.
He's lost his princeship.
Yeah. And all
his
that.
princehood is
His
gone.
princehood is
But
gone.
doesn't he still live
The
in?
house he was living in is gone.
Yeah.
The big castle type
castle.
Dude,
thing.
you're on your own. Why?
Dude,
Why are you on your own?
dude.
He's reduced from
Welcome
prince
to
dude.
Walmart. Does England have Walmarts?
Oh,
Oh
England have a
man.
4th of July? Think about what happened on the 4th of July.
They have Boxing Day.
That's on the 26th of
That's
December.
Canada.
Maybe he needs to move to Australia.
Oh.
Box with the kangaroos.
They,
Box with the
they could bring some raw meat home. That's good.
Yeah, Prince
Tastes
Andrew,
like beer.
and then poor Fergie is catching fallout from it too.
Fergie's caught fallout by her own. She doesn't need any more fallout from any help from
Oh
anybody.
my gosh.
She does her own.
Poor Fergie.
Only when she sings the national anthem,
Yeah, or
among other things.
or gets called topless
That's
on the
wrong
beaches.
Fergie.
She had a lot of fallout. President Donald Trump said he will direct the release of government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life.
Oh, yes, that whole
really?
thing
He
with
did.
the
He did
aliens.
this. He did this. And unidentified aerial phenomena, UFOs, y'all,
Mhm.
saying there is tremendous interest in the issue following remarks by former President Barack Obama.
Barack.
Trump said he would instruct War Secretary, good old Pete, and other relevant departments and agencies to begin identifying and declassifying records tied to unidentified aerial phenomena, UFOs, and potential extraterrestrial life, framing the move as a response to heightened public curiosity. Are you curious? Obama revealed classified information by suggesting aliens are real, according to Trump. Trump said Obama should not have revealed any classified information. I agree, but I'm kind of confused. Why is it classified? Unless that information is true.
Area 51.
Well, we already know that we already know they exist. One of them had already been to our planet and
Let's
left.
go, Chris. Let's get Kathy. Let's go. Let's go visit Area 51.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. Let's go see what's
Do you
there.
think there's any way that non-earthlings are living among us? That's what people are saying. There are non-earthlings living among us.
See them every day.
I'll admit that I've dealt with a few out of this world weirdos pretty much daily, but not
Yeah.
meaning that they didn't originally originate on this planet. They're just brains are out of this world. If Trump wants that information released to certain government agencies, is there any way this stuff will remain secret? Then again, should it be secret? Should it have ever been secret? Who are we protecting by keeping this information about UFOs secret? Trump's right. There is a lot of interest in aliens, not those illegal types that invade us
Right.
from other countries. And if there is anything to the reports over the decades, I'd certainly like to know the truth. Would you rather not know? Would you rather not know that there are earthlings living non-earthling living next door to you, or perhaps down the street? 910-333-0139. If you happen to be eavesdropping this morning and you actually are an alien, call us. We won't tell anyone. I
Rayford,
promise.
you and Chris, how many times have you had a conversation with somebody and you're like, what planet are you from?
Daily.
See, that's what I'm saying. They're amongst us.
But again, have you noticed something about the decrease in the number? I mean, we have exponentially increased our population just in this country, right? Over the last 75 years. From the late 40s, early 50s, we have just blossomed. We had 150
Right.
million people, 125 million about the time I was born, as I recall. I looked it up. And then it's, over 300 million. Have you noticed not a significant increase based upon the increase in population of verifiable or questionable sightings of UFOs.
Yeah.
Why? Because everybody's got a camera, and it's the same thing with Sasquatch. All those photos that we
Oh,
used to
gosh,
see,
yes.
everybody's got cameras. So because I saw Bigfoot, where's your picture?
Bigfoot.
Don't think
I didn't take a picture
Well,
of
I
it.
took it and it came out all blurry.
You didn't have you have a cell phone with a camera on it, and you take pictures of the food that you eat every night that you go to McDonald's, and you didn't get a picture of Bigfoot when he was right in front of you.
What planet are you from?
You're a liar. you're stoned out of your mind when you saw Bigfoot, weren't you? Huh?
Oh,
that
A little
Did
too
you-
much of the weed.
one story.
First of all, if there was ever a Bigfoot walking around up in those areas where Bigfoot was, you would have found somebody there with a 30-06 that would put a round through it. Because in the woods, people up in the northwest area where this thing was always, they carry guns into the woods, big guns.
Yeah. Then how do you explain everybody missing the Loch Ness monster?
Oh, yeah.
You
He
mean
gets to go right when you're getting ready to take his picture, underwater.
well, it was the one, but it was turned out to be a fake. There are lots of Bigfoots that were.
But
turned out to
Jaws
be
is
fakes.
real.
That's what keeps you out of the ocean, isn't it?
Jaws is real.
Women do not have to worry about sharks.
That's right.
Why?
They're man-eaters.
Man-eating sharks.
Oh, my goodness.
That was a lesson. That was a lesson learned in
Should've known better.
one of the All in the Family episodes when Mike and Glory were having an argument, and he goes, "Of course, I would throw you over first. In a raft, if there's sharks around, I'm gonna throw you over first."
How'd that work out
Because-
for him?
Well, she said, "I can't believe you're saying that." He goes, "Well, why? They're man-eating sharks. They won't touch you."
And what was on his dinner plate?
I don't know. He always
Peanut
ate
butter
so.
and jelly sandwich?
He always ate so fast, according to Archie. Did.
I got on a boat in, I think it was Negril, Jamaica. We went diving, and I don't do those cattle boats, but that's the only way. Cattle boat being a bunch of
Right.
divers on a boat. It could be 20 divers on a 15-foot boat in some places, in other countries, not around here. But we get out there, and I was probably the only, other than the dive master, and I knew him. I'd dove with him before, and so he's there, and the captain was running the boat, and the dive master was there, and I said, "Just go with me on this one." He said, "Okay." I walked by each one of the divers as they were getting ready. I said, "You don't have a knife on you, do you?" And he said, "No." I said, "Well, good. Anybody else got a knife? You divers not carrying knives?" No, nobody was, which surprised me. And I said, "Glad, because there's only one person that carries a knife on this boat, and that's me when I'm in the water." "Why? Because of the sharks?" And I said, "Yeah. If I see a shark and it's a big one, I'm going to cut one of you, and then the rest of us are going to get back to the boat."
Chum.
The dive master said, "I'll be using that." I said, "I bet you will be."
Well, what's your take on the military buildup in Iran by the United States military?
Well, they say 3 more days the Gerald Ford will be there along with its accompanying ships.
Yes. They have
We have a contingency there, a small one. We have a lot more coming, and it's a show of force. And Iran, I don't know. The Ayatollah, is he still there, or has he left? He left the country there for a while at one point in time. Just ran away. Oh, vacation, I'm sure, to Russia.
I know the USS Abraham Lincoln. It's on its way there also.
Oh, wow.
Chris, yeah. And they've got U.S. has sent fighter jets, missile defense systems, and other military resources to bolster its presence. And they're deploying F-15E Strike Eagles and increasing naval forces in the
There's a
Persian
problem
Gulf.
with all of that. What happens when we're unprepared, ill-prepared back here at home for
Right.
an invasion?
Yeah, well, they better leave somebody here.
I feel safe where I'm at with Camp Lejeune here.
I do too. But And then
Although it's a
again,
target, I know.
No,
well, they
not
target us first because of the military
Yeah.
really. No,
base.
not really. That's I mean that's manpower.
But we
here.
do have all the defenses, so
We got manpower here, and that's not one of their biggest concerns.
hopefully we'll see
the
the
next war
missiles
is not going
coming.
to be based
Yeah.
upon the number of men you have. It's the number of people
Yeah.
you lose.
I just hope we don't go to war.
I don't want to go to war,
I don't want to go to war.
but we do need to make sure that these people don't. They reinstituted their nuclear processing plants.
Yes.
And for peaceful purposes? No. That was a lie that another president allowed them to perpetuate. No, rogue nations do not need to have nuclear power. Okay. It's kind of like nutcases in the United States having guns. Those who are nuts, those who are convicted felons, they don't need to have guns. I'm a firm believer in the Second Amendment, but there are people out here who don't need to have guns.
Oh, I agree.
For our protection, and for
I
their protection too,
agree.
because they come
Right.
walking them down the streets around here acting stupid, they're going to get shot. Somebody's going to shoot them. This street, everybody's got a gun. But it's Iran is such a volatile location.
Well, Iran is staging naval drills right now with Russia against the huge U.S. military buildup. So Russia helping Iran.
North Korea used to launch a lot of stuff
Yeah.
and test a lot of stuff too, but you know what? It all came tumbling back down on them.
Well,
It
maybe
fizzled.
more go.
So they quit that stuff.
Well, they've been very quiet.
Yeah.
If you think about it, we don't hear.
Well, they're supplying stuff to Russia right now because
Right.
of the Russian-Ukrainian war.
Yeah.
Mhm.
North Korea is actually making bullets for Russia, for their Russian guns.
Mhm.
I don't think I'd be wanting to shoot it, but
Well, I just pray. I pray, please, Marco Rubio, get out there and talk to these people and let's make peace.
why don't we
and-
just go kidnap a couple of leaders
let's
out
not
of
talk
Iran?
about kidnapping.
We could go to Iran and take their leaders out. I mean, we did it. We got
We did it
precedents.
before.
We've
Yes.
done it.
Yes,
Do they
absolutely.
pose a threat to us? Yeah, let's go get them.
Absolutely. Well,
What
you
we
talk
gonna do
about
with 'em, though?
kidnapping. Have you got the latest on the Guthrie?
Oh, which one?
Nancy Guthrie, all the new stuff coming out last night about now they're thinking there was an accomplice.
They said there could have been an accomplice.
Right.
No, we have not disputed the fact that it could have been. I asked this from day one.
Mm-hmm.
She's 84 years old, could not walk over 50 yards at best.
Right.
Who's going to kidnap her without having the means to handle the situation?
Exactly.
How are you going to handle an 84-year-old woman that might be feisty that you don't know about?
I'll imagine she was.
The biggest concerns that I've got, and which they've got their hands on, and they're wrapping their fingers around the throats of, I hope, are the searches that were done. We talked about it earlier. The searches that were done for her address last December and last June,
Yes.
and pictures of her home.
I think they said they even had a search showing a view of her home,
Yeah.
a Google Earth view,
They did that.
right prior to her disappearance.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Yes.
By the ones that were earlier.
Yes. This whole thing is bizarre.
There was one searches in December of
Yes.
2025.
You're correct. And on
then some last June.
her daughter's salary also.
Everybody Googles salaries.
Yeah, I do. I'm scared now. So if anything ever happens to me, if I'm accused of doing something bad and they go into my Google searches,
Mhm.
no, it was just research, please. Please defend me. It was just research.
I hope they don't go into mine because the research that I have done would be scary.
That's what I'm
It would scare
saying.
me.
Kathy and I had a conversation about that last night about researching. I love researching.
So
I
do
did too.
Yeah, when I was in school, not before any of us were born, but before maybe some of our listeners, I really was not interested in researching.
I was.
Mhm.
Now I'd love to research everything from science to history to.
Oh God, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
And then when I
What
research it,
happened on
I'm
this
like,
date in
I wish I had-
1962?
then my
Do you
first thought is I wish I had paid more attention in school.
What happened on this date in 1962?
That's-
You were both alive.
In
It was a major event.
When I was 4 years old.
It was a historical
I
event.
was
still only 4 years
It
old.
was
Yeah,
still a
me too.
historical. Historical means it could have occurred
Oh.
at any time in the past.
Yeah.
Was
Oh,
that
now his-
JFK? No.
No, that was 63.
Yeah.
was-
Well, I was close.
A guy by the name of Glenn. He was the first person to orbit the Earth. First
Oh,
American
yeah.
to orbit
John
the
Glenn
Earth.
Historic Orbit.
See, I told you so.
And cultural.
And I'm not even looking up here at it.
Look,
What is this?
And cultural milestones like the rise of the Beatles. We're talking the band Beatles.
Oh.
Then there was a 13-day
up poison for that
confrontation in
stuff.
October between the United States and the Soviet Union over their ballistic missiles deployed in Cuba. See, I
And then
love.
John Glenn went back to space.
Yes, I love reading all this stuff, but back in school, oh, I could care less.
It wasn't history back in school. It was
Well,
current
I wasn't
events.
in school yet, so but oh, and the iconic actress was found dead in her home in L.A. on August 5th,
She was more than
1962.
an actress. She was a performer.
Yeah, Marilyn Monroe.
Monroe. I was
Yes,
gonna
I
ask-
know
I was
you
gonna say.
knew.
I remember that story when it came out.
Yeah,
We were, so my buddy and I next door, we were out camping, I think, or something. But
but you know what overshadowed all that was the relationship between her and JFK. Always overshadowed anything else
Yeah.
about Marilyn Monroe.
Well,
did.
Marilyn Monroe was an actress, and she was a sex symbol, and she was a yada
Happy
yada yada
birthday
and whatever, and she was married
to
to a
you.
baseball fame,
Mm-hmm.
a
Mickey
big guy.
Mantle.
Mickey.
Yes,
The
Mickey
Mick.
Mantle.
The Mick.
I remember that.
Who?
The Mick. Mickey Mantle.
No,
Jake-
no, no, no,
No, no, no, no.
Oh,
no.
it was on
Joe
Frank.
DiMaggio.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah.
I-
That was called.
I was right there with you, Chris. I was saying Mickey Mantle, and I knew it was wrong.
I watched Everybody Love Raymond last night. They were talking about
Yes.
Mickey Mantle. Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I
Joe
love that
DiMaggio.
show.
Yeah.
That show is hilarious.
it was.
But anyway, what else would you say? It's a woman that got away with stuff because the president of the United States allowed it, encouraged it, arranged it. Secret Service escorted her into the secret tunnels into the White House when Jackie was not available. She was not in town. She was over there.
Whoa. I like the way you put that when Jackie was not available.
She wasn't around. She was not in Washington. She
Mhm.
wasn't at the White House. She was out of town on a mission somewhere.
Well, he's got to prove return.
And then the way things worked. You didn't know this.
No, I knew that. The first thing that popped in my head was Hillary and her association with Epstein, Stein, whatever.
Poor guy. He should have had better taste. Oh my goodness gracious! Why did you say that? What else we got here? It's a weird one. A United flight from Newark to Miami earlier this week held up for 3 hours.
I'd be
The
so mad.
passengers that were already boarded had to get off the airplane. Law enforcement officers did a thorough search of that plane. Why? Before the plane could take off, someone, I don't know who yet, found a bullet in the overhead bin. One of the overhead bin, a single bullet. Didn't tell me what kind of caliber it was. I don't know. Could have been a .458 Magnum for an elephant gun. Those are big bullets. Or it could have been a .22 caliber short, which is like you can shoot 10 cans with it, and that's pretty much most of what you want to do with it. I mentioned the two bullets because it would be a lot easier to have a .22 short fall out of a jacket pocket or a briefcase or have it accidentally fall into the overhead bin while stowing your junk.
Mm.
And it could, something as little as a .22 short. I mean, my belt buckle was set off the metal detectors as fast, if not faster, than that thing.
It did at Jacksonville High School going through the football games.
I didn't have a bullet on me.
No,
did I?
but you had things in your pocket.
I got
that
stuff in my pocket all the time. It's
Oh,
tools.
Rafer would have to turn around and go back to the car.
I did once or twice. Naturally, police wanted to make sure other ammo or maybe a gun, perhaps this was just one thing that was on there. Maybe there was pieces of a gun that were hidden on the plane by a cleaning crew, maintenance personnel, before the passengers ever got on board. They had to take the precautions. I applaud them for that.
Yes.
The bullet all by itself is not much good to anyone. A homemade device made out of plastic with very little metal in it. Could be made. Doesn't even look like a gun. Could be built from a 3D printer and a device that could actually be fired in the gun. Nothing else was found. The plane took off late, 3 hours late, landed in Miami. Okay, all's well that ends well, I guess. But from Newark, another plane had a problem with a passenger, but they caught him at TSA. I cannot imagine. You're familiar with semi-automatic handguns.
Yes.
You break them down, you take a slide off, you got the barrel separate, you got the receiver, you got, take it all apart, right? One dude took his all apart, small one. And he's a cowboy type, and he put all the parts, stashed them in his boots, including a loaded magazine.
Not quite.
It takes you less than a minute for most people to assemble a pistol from all the given parts there. If you're in the military, you'll learn to do it with your eyes closed. That's just the way it works. But he thought he was going to get through. They just arrested him on the spot. FYI, if you inadvertently put something in your briefcase or whatever, or you fail to take it out of your camera bag or whatever, TSA is not going to seize your gun. They're going to give it to the police, and the police are going to have some questions for you. TSA is not the arresting agency. They're the inspectors. They call the guys with badges and guns to make the arrests.
Yeah.
So that's the way it will go down. Now, no, you won't get your gun back.
Well,
Not even after you get out of prison.
You know how I love our Onslow County Sheriff's
Oh, me too.
Office.
I love their new
and the
chief
deputy.
deputy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he can do the worm really
Oh,
good,
he's a
can't he,
worm man.
Mark?
Do you have something?
Oh, I was going to tell you when you brought up the sheriff's office, my perm is ready for pickup.
Oh, congratulations.
You badgered them for 3 months now.
I've never said a word to them.
Oh, the air you've
If
said
they've
every
been
day.
listening, yes.
Oh, well,
but-
I've had one talk about that.
They listen.
Do what?
I know.
I had one to mention that to me.
What they say.
Is she going to get over this? Does she not know that thing at her, just because she's applied for it, is still good? She doesn't have to have it in her
Look,
hands.
when I got the letter
Do
in
you
the
have any
mail,
idea how many people that we've got who have applied for permits around here?
blah, blah, blah.
Most of Onslow County
Blah,
is
blah.
on, by the way.
Well, look, blah, blah, blah.
Anyway, so when Kathy and I went to the Board of Commissioners meeting to give Chairman Foster a commemorative album for his help with Wreaths Across America Wreath Laying Day. Those deputies are so nice, and they have such a great sense of humor.
Oh, they do.
Kathy has those screws now in her plate, in her wrist and stuff, and so she told the deputy, she goes, "I'm going to set it off because I'm now metallic," and he goes, "Well, tonight I'm going to let you through, but this is the only night I'm going to let you through because after this, I'm always going to stop you." He's retiring June 30th and going to play golf, and I'm going to go play golf with him. But
Are you going to beat him with your club too?
no.
He doesn't carry clubs. He carries guns.
Actually, I had a conversation last night with former Jacksonville coach Miller, and we're going to go play golf. He's a handicapped golfer, so.
Oh, you have to play with handicapped people. The only way you can.
No.
What's he got? One leg?
No. Just most.
I'm not a golfer, folks.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah. Professional obviously have zero handicaps, so scratch golfers. So to make you if you want to be a scratch golfer, you want to shoot a 72. Your handicap is probably you'll shoot a 90, and so your handicap's an 18.
Do something for your scratch.
Thank you.
It's like bowling.
Yeah,
Handicap.
Yeah, handicap. So it makes it a level playing field. So if you have,
Well, just be better, and you won't have to have that. Oh, so you're having to score on a curve.
See, what is
yeah, basically. So you might get lucky and shoot
Kind of like social stuff, right?
yeah.
Everybody's equal. Everybody gets a trophy on that golfing.
Oh, no.
All right. So what's your handicap, Chris?
I'm about a 16.
Says
What's-
according to Golf Handicap Information Network, Donald Trump has a handicap of 2.8.
Okay, so
He plays every day.
but in reality, he would have to give me 14 strokes
Yes,
to make us even.
that's right.
And you
But-
you get to hit him 14 times first.
No. But I don't need those strokes to defeat him.
Not with the club.
I will defeat him with one club.
I know you got a trick up your sleeve.
Nope.
Who are those guys at the gate
I don't know, but you're putting a vest on right
in
now.
suits?
I used the word defeat. I learned my lesson about the word.
Beat.
I didn't say it.
Well, here's a fun story for you both. We're talking about the possibility of students leaving school today to protest something they don't
They
know
won't be
anything
able to
about.
see him because it's dense fog.
Well, here's a 12-year-old that didn't want to miss school. Monroe, North Carolina. North Carolina cops, which is Monroe PD, pulled over a car Wednesday and discovered a 12-year-old boy behind the wheel after the child apparently decided to drive himself to school because he missed the school bus. I say give that
I'd
kid.
take that boy would not be getting a ticket from me. I'd give him a ride.
Well, officers pulled over an SUV around 8:30 a.m. after its driver showed suspicious behavior
Yeah, he couldn't see the steering wheel.
and discovered the vehicle was equipped with fictitious license plate,
Uh-oh.
which is not his fault. He just wanted to go to school.
So the
During
driver's
the
fault.
unusual stop, the cops learned that the driver was a 12-year-old boy who told them he missed his school bus and made the decision to drive himself to school.
He didn't want to tell his
resource-
parents, so he stole the car. Duh.
A resource officer assigned to the studious tweens school was contacted and took him to school.
I have a question. If it was his parents' car and it had a fictitious plate on it,
He's actually liable for it. He's liable for it. But if the parents if they're responsible for getting the tag or whatever,
Yeah.
Right.
then they're going to be held. There's some problems.
Well, it says it's not immediately clear why the license plates
For
were
specific-
fictitious. So it could have worked out to where it
Yeah.
was a system error.
One of the ridiculous idiots in the world that I had to deal with, and he actually worked for me.
Bless his heart.
We had a utility trailer,
Oh.
and you know those little stickers you put on that license plate each year.
Yeah.
He couldn't afford to get his license plate renewed, so he just took a sticker off of the license plate on the trailer and put it over the license plate on his car. You know how obvious that is to the police behind you? Well, they brought it to me and they showed me how obvious it was because the sticker came back registered to us, the station. Dummy.
I don't think we should have stickers.
Former employee. I can't call him a
Let's
dummy.
get rid of them all. I'm glad. You remember we used to have a sticker for your state inspection?
Yeah.
I think we should get rid of the license plate sticker too.
And do
Just no license plate.
Hey, just kidding, guys. Just
Dense
kidding.
fog advisories in effect until 10 o'clock. About another hour and 45 minutes of it. Most of that's going to be in low-lying areas, so be careful out there driving. If you're on the water, have some way to know where you are. Because on the water, there are no roads or no signs. There's no nothing, and you won't be able to see the markers out there if you try to go through the inlet. So be really careful. Slow down, back away from any cars in front of you. There's a small craft advisory also in effect through late tonight. Offshore today, southwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots, seas 5 to 7 feet every 7 seconds. That's kind of big waves, 7 footers every 7 seconds. Sounds and rivers, rough, patchy, dense fog, a slight chance of rain this afternoon, visibility 1 nautical mile or less. Tomorrow, northerly winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming northeasterly in the afternoon, 2 to 4 footers, sounds and rivers, light chop. There's a chance of rain in the morning and rain likely in the afternoon tomorrow. Sunday, northerly winds 10 to 15, becoming northwesterly 20 to 25 with gusts to 30 in the afternoon, 3 to 5 footers, sounds and rivers, a moderate chop, becoming rough in the afternoon on Sunday.
Today we have a chance of rain and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a high near 78. Southwest winds 7 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 25. Tonight, a slight chance of rain, mostly cloudy with a low around 52. excuse me, Saturday, a 70% chance of rain, mostly cloudy with a high near 66. Saturday night, rain, cloudy with a low around 45. And Sunday, rain mainly before noon, mostly cloudy with a high near 57.
Talked about the Newark airport and the plane and all that
Yeah.
sort of good stuff. 2 different cases there.
Uh-huh.
There's something here popped up too about Newark. If you're, how often do airplanes are circling the airport or coming in or making an approach? Newark's a big airport.
Yes, it is.
Lots of planes coming in, right?
Yes.
How long is 90 seconds without radar for the air traffic controllers up there?
I don't know. 'Cause
Forever.
It could be.
I only flew into Newark and out once. The landing was very scary because it was at nighttime, and it's one of the shortest runways on the East Coast.
Oh, bye.
And if you happen to, brakes don't hold, you're in the water.
Glub, glub.
Glub, glub.
That's why they give you extra warnings up there about those life jackets.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
I've got great news. The United States has climbed up to second place now in the amount of gold that has been awarded. Norway is first with 16 gold medals, and the United States with 9. They beat out Italy. Italy has 9, but the United States has a total of 27 medals to Italy's 26.
Congratulations to the United States
Yes,
women's
the girls,
hockey
yes.
team beat Canada yesterday
Yes, they did.
in overtime.
And
Take that, Canucks.
I think didn't they say, Chris, you would know, it was the first time since it was a historic win.
Yeah.
Or was that on the ski slopes? I forget. But yeah, come on, United States, climb it back up.
The United States is doing very well, and they're doing very well with some of the older athletes
Yes.
that have been there before, not in particularly in Italy, but in other Olympics, and they've come back and they're winning gold now. So the big one I think is coming up soon is the men's U.S. hockey team, which of course is made up of professionals. So
Wait, what was it? In overtime, the women? I
Yeah,
have to look
they
that
beat
up.
Canada yesterday.
Yes. That was in overtime.
Mhm.
And they beat them 2-1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right. You're right.
And
Absolutely.
and won the gold in that.
Yes.
And the U.S. is doing very well in curling.
Hmm. Why is curling an Olympic sport? Tell me.
Because somebody got really bored.
Why?
I
mean,
They add more events every year to both the summer and the winter Olympics to garner more viewership.
well, I know they've been doing curling for years and years and years. I just don't understand what makes it a special sport in the Olympics. Chris Miller, if you're listening, maybe you can explain. I don't know.
It's kind of like watching paint dry.
That's one sport I've never been able to figure out why we give gold medals who can shoot that thing the furthest, whatever.
I hated nighttime coverage of, which was delayed type coverage or replay or what of the Olympics because there was nothing else on TV as a kid, and I had to watch things like get down there, give me a break, hit the dang thing and get it over with.
That's the curling part where they're
Yeah, I know that's
smoothing
what
the
it
ice
is.
to just the right friction to move that.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't want that.
Oh.
Bowling I could get into if I'd ever wanted to go bowling. I have been bowling.
I used to be on lots of teams back in the day.
The very first time I ever went bowling, they wanted me to go bowling with them, so 4 of us went.
Poland.
And I said, "What is this? What's the purpose? What do we do here?" He said,
Mhm.
"The guy said, you take this big old thing here. It weighs 15 pounds, I think it was. Is that a bowling ball? What are the weights?
16 ounces
Six-
or 16 pounds?
15 pounds, yes.
15,
what I throw.
16 pounds.
I
Whatever.
used to use a 15.
Anyway, that's what they handed me. I was
Can't
young.
do it anymore.
And I had said, "You're supposed to knock those things down over down there." Okay. Well, the ball went airborne. We're about halfway down that alley thing they call it.
Mhm. It's
The
called
gutter?
now. The gutter.
No, not the gutter. Right down the middle of the thing.
Right.
Or,
Yeah.
well, it kind of weaved back
You-
and forth.
Did you
He's going to get
It
a
went in
split.
the air and it hit and it bounced and it bounced.
Yeah, lobbed it.
And it made people unhappy, apparently.
Yeah, that's not good.
Those little white things up there at the end, 10 of them, I think.
pins,
They went
yeah.
scattering everywhere.
Mhm.
Not just where they
Lobbing
went
a
to-
ball.
they went next door.
That's good. That was good.
I threw it pretty hard. And that was my second. That was my first time. Then they told me I had to keep the thing on the ground.
Well, I think you talk about
To put bumpers up
where we're
there.
talking about Olympics and like the curling,
The
and,
curling. I just,
and some of the other things. I mean, they've got race walking is an Olympic event.
why?
Tiddlywinks.
Well, equestrian.
Tiddlywinks.
Nah, I don't know they've gone that far.
Just don't know about it
Marbles.
yet. Pool. Billiards.
Swimming. Oh, well, swimming pool, but
Swimming.
not
Swimming is a
billiards.
I got that.
Is there billiards in the Olympics?
Not yet.
I didn't think so.
Give it time. I mean, just recently golf was introduced to it.
Is there anything like
Why?
dribbling a basketball involved? Just dribble, not throwing it.
No, you got
See, all
not
that
throwing.
should go into the Guinness Book of World Records, not the Olympics.
it's. I mean,
Crazy.
they have what's it called when you ski and then you shoot your rifle?
Yeah.
Skeet shooting?
No.
I don't
No,
know.
skiing and shoot your.
Yeah.
What?
It's cross country. It's supposed to get your adrenaline going and
Yeah.
everything else. It's a stress type situation that I could understand. I just don't. I'm not going to get on snow. Look at what happened to all those people out there on snow on the West Coast. Bunch of them are dead. 2
Yeah.
avalanches.
11-year-old too recently. Oh, so sad.
No, I'm not going to do it. Don't want to
So
do it.
sad.
Don't like snow.
So
Well,
sad.
they did question why a couple of young ladies, I think, went skiing after or during the event. I just
Wow, I don't know.
Well, there was a group of about 11 women, mothers, friends, that every year go on their annual ski trip, and they were out there and
Yeah.
got caught in it and passed away.
Yeah,
How so
good,
sad.
good friends. They've been doing it
Yes.
for years, and I
Want to talk about a twisted teacher? Oh,
you
this
mean
is
on Western Boulevard?
No.
I had to.
As long as you don't bring jackasses into it. Okay.
Why not? They're good.
A twisted teacher is accused of sexually assaulting a homeless student who once viewed her as a mother figure after she moved him into her Florida home and pumped him full of alcohol. Mackenzie McLean, 49, who taught at Crooms Academy in Sanford, repeatedly molested her student, 18, including 5 to 10 times over a 2-month period. Skip all this. Shortly after shacking up with the teen, the sicko educator plied him with 12 shots of gin while he played video games with her daughter.
What?
Once he was severely
How old was her daughter?
intoxicated, McLean told her kid to leave the room before assaulting the teenager. The student who lived with the teacher for 9 months told police that he regularly pushed McLean off of him while telling her it was wrong. 2 months before graduating, the pair allegedly slept in the same bed, drove to school together. And a female student, 16, who also accused the disgraced teacher of giving her and other students illegal substances, including alcohol, marijuana gummies, and Adderall. And screaming.
How did this woman, 49 years of age, keep a job that long? Somebody had to be letting somebody know.
She had worked for the Seminole County Schools for nearly 25 years. And we have Professor Duty calling, so I shall continue the story later.
Uh-oh.
School is out for the weekend.
What?
I don't think the professor has class right now.
The professor is on the line.
Yeah, Professor.
How's Ginger doing?
Oh my gosh.
Tyler's what are you doing?
Ginger from Gilligan's Island. She's actually
Oh, come on.
that was
You got me.
Rayford, Tom. That was
Well,
Rayford.
I mean, that's what the professor and Ginger had a thing going, right?
but you know, she's the only actor from that program still alive.
Is that right? The only
Yeah,
one?
only
Wow.
one.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
She had enough makeup to keep
Tina
it going for
Louise.
years.
Well, I decided I wasn't going to go swimming this morning. You know,
That's good. That's probably good. You know what? There are
It was so
devices out
funny
there.
yesterday.
There are devices out there that will allow you to do things like that. You know.
I do. Yes. No. My parents have an in-ground pool, so we try and get in that in the summertime, and so I do go swimming.
Good.
Granted, not in the chair though.
Tom can also talk about golf, except he can talk better than I can because in his day, he was a very excellent
What,
golf.
Tom, you have
golfer.
a special chair now that helps you golf, right? Do you still have that, or was that yours? Or I remember a story.
No. Yeah. No. I still have that chair. It's called a paragolfer,
Yeah.
and it looks like a golf cart, but I can sit in it, and it stands me up, and I even have a set of clubs. Ping built me a set of custom clubs.
That's
So
awesome.
shout out to Ping, but they built me a set
King,
with
yes.
Good.
Velcro grips and Velcro gloves, and it's a whole contraption now. It's pretty cool.
So when we talk
So
about
yeah, shout out to Ping.
so when we talk about golfers and handicaps, Tom and I play. Tom would have to give me strokes.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to. What's your handicap? You said you were again?
16, Tom. I know what yours
Okay,
was.
At my when I at my prime, I was almost a +3.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
I don't do golf, but I know what that means.
Yeah,
he was good.
He was very
He
good.
really good.
Yeah.
Mm.
that's how I grew up. My dad, when he was in the military, I was playing golf since I was 6. So it was just kind of our bonding experience, and I didn't want to lose. So I got tired of losing to him. So it was like,
Oh my God.
I need to figure this out because I don't like losing.
Well, my dad took up golf in his latter years, and actually I had moved from this area at the time, so he was out there having a blast all the time. I went to the driving range with him one time, and he could talk about swinging something. He did good, and I did, and they went in various directions. Yeah, I always aimed at, in Wilmington. When I went out there, I aimed at the guy driving around with the tractor picking up the golf balls. He was
one of them. Huh?
I was one of them. He was my target, and I could ping from time to time. You hear that thing hit, and of course he was so accustomed to it. It was just normal.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't done the same thing.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
nice little 3-iron to the back of the golf cart. It was always a nice little.
There you go. What's up? What's going on?
Well, not bad. I just figured I'd call in and check in, and
We're glad you did.
I know there's some heat going around, that professor at Coastal, and I know there's some, so I wanted to just touch base. I know that situation is.
Have you seen the video?
It has come to a head. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Did you see the video or hear the audio from the video that was secretly taped?
I did. I've heard it. And now, the more I've thought about it, you have a First Amendment right to say pretty much, whatever you would like, as long as it doesn't incite violence or none of that, right? So, not necessarily a First Amendment. It's a time and place issue. It's an audience.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
the problem. They weren't there to hear him spout off rhetoric like that.
Right.
That's not what they were there, and they were paying good money, or their parents were paying good money to learn something. He was not teaching. He was not doing his job.
Well, and that's I think you're dead on it. And if I can relate it back to how I teach, my job is not to teach you what to learn, but necessarily, it is, but teach you how to learn, how to think. You know what I mean? How to form an opinion, even if it's different than mine. That's fine. But can you form the opinion and give me some rational thought behind it? Other than just, crazy, and I say crazy, but rhetoric that is not
necessarily true in a sense, or very, very leaned towards a certain direction, right? So that's my job. My job is not to teach you what to think, but necessarily how to think, or at least how to form an opinion, right?
The good job of a good professor or a good teacher at any level is to encourage their students to think for themselves, to form their own opinions based upon
Absolutely.
whatever information is out there. But you need to be able to analyze the information, decide what of it is actually viable, and then how you think about it. It may all be viable, but how you feel. We can take annexation, pro, against, or whatever. People got their own viewpoints on it, but you have to have the information, and you have to have the ability. You can get the information, but you need to be taught the ability to think and rationalize and figure it out, analyze and rationalize.
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, it's especially from, and I often use the media as an example. It's oftentimes some of the coverage to certain situations can be overblown or misleading. So, I often tell my students, you can certainly have a bias, but I think it's important that you balance your bias out with other things that may provide counter arguments that may enlighten you even more than because we're all insular, right? We're all insulated by our own thoughts, but it's nice to hear outside opinions as well. So I try to tell my students, listen, you may have a bias, but try and find a counter argument that may go against your bias. And take that into consideration as well. So you're right. It's all about taking the material. And I say that as a professor, but ingesting it and also, like you said, analyzing it and seeing what's common sense and what's reasonable and what works, and how to form that opinion an argument. Which some of the stuff that was said in the video, is very obviously left leaning. I think we can call that pretty fair, right? So, but that's not your job to do that necessarily in that time and in that setting, right?
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Agree.
Time and
I think
place.
that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, time and place. The situation is it all comes to light. Your viewpoint, which is generally in a case like that so biased, you're not presenting both sides now. You would never be able to get that kind of crap through a courtroom. Is the way I always look at things. There's going to be a moderator up there. He wears his black robe and he's got a big hammer in his hand. He's going to say, no, that's not relevant. Or he's going to agree with one side of it. That's not relevant. No, give me something that's relevant to what we're doing here. I don't care about the cost of tea in China.
Well, yes. And if we can go back, it's kind of like last week we had to cover immigration law, right? Well, that's hot right now. We all know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's hot. And as a professor, obviously, I take it back to, if you can form an opinion. And I obviously disagreed with some of this discussion that was in the class about immigration, and because I would probably say at least half the class, was in favor of immigration enforcement within reasonable bounds, right? And then half the other class was for very much of almost to the line of open borders. And it's like, well, that's not really, you know what I mean? I don't think that's really a rational thing either. I mean, that's not a sustainable policy, right? So, but do I deduct points or grades because of that? No, because if you can form a rational opinion on it, we may disagree on it. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But if you can form an opinion on it, good. That's great. I'm not taking off grades, or I'm not slanting my grades towards how I believe, because that's not my job necessarily in the classroom, right?
So
I totally agree with you, 100%.
So
it's not my job. So if I can teach these students, like I said, how to think, that's what I'm aiming for.
Tom, have you ever been asked by a student your opinion? And if so, did you give it to them?
Good question.
Oh, yeah. And so I have yes. So I will give them my opinion, and I usually do that. Honestly, I'm glad you brought that up, Chris. Is that I'll kind of run through look through the discussions throughout the week, see what everybody's talking about, what the topic is, and then I'll usually starting on Mondays, I'll provide a recap and kind of give my thoughts, and then point out some of the stuff that I thought was relevant, or some of the stuff that was said I thought might not be feasible. I'll point that out as well too, and make a counter argument. And I've always told my students this in announcements. Listen, if you can't have a discussion within, you know what I mean, without returning to political violence, then we need to I encourage the discussion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want us to have the discussion because that's how you find common ground between individuals. Well, I think reason, right? Does that make sense?
Yep. I think that's a great point.
I will give my opinion sometimes when it's not asked for, but I still will give it because that's what we do here. This is an opinion-based show. But by the same token, two things. One, if I am really ingrained in my opinion, I believe this, period, bottom line. Don't sit there and try to argue with me because it's my opinion. I'm not going to argue with you about your opinion. You can have your opinion. Just don't try to force your opinion or your religious beliefs on me or your political beliefs on me. And I won't on you. How's that? I mean, that pretty well works out. Now, I will tell you that when there are facts out there, here are the facts that may dispute what you think, like chapter 14 of the North Carolina General Statutes book. Here are the facts. Duh. There's nothing really to argue here. It's just factual stuff. As far as law enforcement is concerned, as far as the ICE guys are concerned, there are laws. They're enforcing the laws. Duh.
And that's kind of the argument that I tend to go back to is just say whatever political spectrum you lean on.
Yep.
I mean, it's a criminal violation, right? I mean, there's immigration law. It's legislatively, it's Congress. I mean, it's been approved.
Yeah.
So it's the law. And if you don't necessarily agree with the law, well, then let's certainly change the law.
That's it. That's the political process. Now you can go and you can get yourself elected or petition Congress or whoever, whatever level of lawmaker you're dealing with. You can petition them to change or modify, add to, or eliminate certain laws or statutes.
That's the beauty. Yeah, that's the beauty of our political system is that if you don't like it, you can change it. You know what I mean? And which is great, but I just I would preface that with, when I had students talk about immigration, it was, we all open borders or we need to find some sort of way to grant asylum to all, these people. And that's your argument. Make the argument for it. But immigration law is still a law, so they're going to enforce it.
Mm-hmm.
And we have an ICE and we have Border Patrol that are there to do it. That's their job.
Yep.
So they're just enforcing the law. And if you don't like the law, change it.
That's it.
There you go.
Don't ignore it. Don't violate it. Just change it. But you're going to have to do it by the right process. Tom, thank you, sir. Have a great weekend.
Thank you,
You
Professor.
guys too.
See you soon, my
I
friend.
will talk to you guys soon. I appreciate it,
All
guys.
right,
Have a
bye.
blessed weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Speaking of politics, let's go to the left coast. We
Let's
got
go.
Charlie. Hey, Charlie. How are you?
Let's go to the left.
Hey, you guys are very staticky. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Can you
we
hear us?
you well.
Okay, you can hear me.
Yes.
It's a little staticky, but no, I had four quick things. I'm looking at Mitch McConnell. It's got to be a form of elderly abuse. I mean, they're literally holding him up. I think you have to know the name of your state that you're from, your parents' names, and go back to the state that you represent. I truly don't believe he could do that. It's embarrassing watching this guy.
Okay. I don't watch him.
You there?
Yeah, we're here, Charlie.
Yeah,
Hello?
can you hear us?
Yeah. Let me call you back. Well, I'll call you right back. I can't hear you guys.
Okay.
All right. These buttons over here have been changed around again on this line too. So
Well, there are plenty of elected officials up in DC that really should be enjoying their later years.
I agree. Retire with all that money you've made.
Yeah. I doubt that there's not a millionaire up here.
Yeah.
Multi-millionaire.
It's interesting how they
Plenty
go
of them
in
there.
there and start earning a salary, and instantly they're millionaires.
Yeah.
All right, Charlie, you back?
Yeah, I'm just watching. I mentioned Mitch McConnell. I don't know if you heard that.
Yes, we heard
I'm
that.
watching him right now on one of these X feeds, and he got up to. He's supposed to talk about stalling on the Save America Act. He won't reschedule it, but he couldn't talk. He couldn't say anything. So the people around him had to escort him off with the podium. I truly don't get it. And I think the Democrats, they love it because they don't want this bill to pass, but they would be attacking him. We all know the hypocrisy, but it's embarrassing to watch it. Have you seen it? I guess it was from yesterday.
I did not watch it. Sorry, I had other things to do.
No, I didn't watch
He
it.
can't
yesterday.
talk. He's at the podium, and Thorne was up behind him. He literally can't speak.
He's got health issues.
And then they
too.
pull him away.
Yeah. It's time for. Well, didn't I read that he was retiring?
Yes.
Yeah, see,
He
yeah.
retired,
Yes.
It's-
He's on his way out. Nancy's on her way out. Schumer
But shouldn't
needs
there
a
be some
bill.
sort of provision in the laws of the governing laws that say, listen, you have to go to a doctor every year after the age of 60 or even 50 just to make it fair?
Or a cognitive test is what you're talking about, and maybe a physical exam as well.
Well,
It's really sad. But anyway,
what's your
hey,
age
I
limit?
have a question that none of you guys have ever been asked before in your life. I guarantee it, and you're going to think about it. Or I can tell you how I saved an animal last night.
How you saved an animal last night?
Okay, do tell us.
You
This
want
better
the
not be
question or you want
sad.
the animal?
I want the question first.
Let's do the question.
All right, I'll do the question first. I guarantee you've never been asked this question before. Did you ever ask your parents what your name would have been if you hadn't been born the opposite sex? So, if you had been born a girl or a boy, what your name would have been?
Yes, I was.
I would hate to think.
I never
I'll be
did. Yours was
George.
going to be Chris either way, right?
Yep. No, it was going to be Chrissy.
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 Yeah, nobody ever. Yeah, I don't even know the answer to that question.
Well, you're safe
Well,
because
maybe
you could have
that's a
gone
great
either
question.
way.
I'm expecting a better
Charlie.
response. Oh no, the pet that I saved. I was actually thinking the other day. I need a pet. I was thinking like a dog or a cat. No, not a cat. I like cats, but I'm allergic. And then I asked Google or Alexa. I said, "What's a good pet if you can't get a dog or a cat?" And they're like, "Blah blah blah, gerbil." But then I have a lot of grasshoppers in my house, and I saw this little grasshopper that I thought was on
In
a
your
glass
house?
Yeah, in my house. I get a lot of grasshoppers in my house. And I always pick them up and I take them out. I don't kill anything. I don't even kill roaches. And I actually took a test and I'm allergic to those little things. But anyway, so I said, you know what, this little grasshopper, it has no life. So I'm going to pick it up. I thought about throwing it outside. So I put it in my sink in my bathroom. And I covered, I made in my sink, and I put down a little stopper so it wouldn't fall in there. And I put a napkin over the stopper. And I went to bed. So, this is going to be so cool. I've got a little animal in the house. And, I checked on it a couple times at night, and I noticed he was moving around. I'm like, cool, I saved this little grasshopper. So I wake up in the morning, I can't find him. He had slid down that little, what's it called? Stopper.
Yeah.
And I pulled him out. I literally pulled him out, put him on a napkin, took him outside, and the little bastard jumped away.
And then a bird came down and ate him.
Oh my God.
I don't know. But, I all night for 8 hours, he was warm because it's freezing here. It's like 40 degrees here. And he was in a 75-degree house. I'm like, he's living the life of Riley. And then I got up, he's down this sink, and I had to literally take my finger down there and get him out. So that's my story. And then what was the last thing I had to talk about? Oh, yeah, you would have to go into this. So maybe I'll call it next week. I'm fascinated by the 4 people that have been, I'm not going to use the word killed, 4 people that maybe deserved what they got from ICE agents by interfering, the nurse, the woman that, blah, blah, blah. They've all had past histories. But none of the people are talking about the so many people that have been killed and raped by those illegals that were let in. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
Okay. Thank you,
All
Charlie.
right. Have a good day. Have a
Bye.
good weekend. Take care.
What a
Charlie's wound up this morning.
story.
Thomas, I'm not sure if you're talking about Professor Duty, our friend that teaches at East Carolina.
So you were
Or if
responding
you're-
to somebody on
I'm
the
sorry,
internet,
yeah.
right?
Yes,
Thomas.
Thomas Austin had made a comment And his opinion
sorry.
position does influence the students, so he needs to stay within the subject material. He's probably talking about Professor
Schulte?
Schulte, who made the comment, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the professor that called in this morning, that was Duty, Tom Duty, Tom.
Yeah.
Tom Duty, Tom.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's,
Hang down your head, Tom Duty.
I knew that was going there. I knew it. I have an announcement for the ladies. I have very sad news. For the ladies, loved watching Grey's Anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Mistimi passed away yesterday.
Been a whole lot of people at a young age. He was 48, I
He
think.
was 53.
53.
Yeah, he
That's a
was
lot
diagnosed
of
last
people.
April with ALS.
Mhm.
And he played, they called him Dr. McSteamy. He was steamy. But he played as Dr. Mark Sloan. We're talking about Eric Dane on Grey's Anatomy. And he was just diagnosed this April 2025 as having ALS. And he passed away
Fairly
yesterday.
fast.
don't be
Dr.
upset with me.
Mix-
Don't be upset.
Steamy, don't.
No.
What?
What is Grey's Anatomy?
Oh, it's a medical show. It's like a soap opera. It's a nighttime, primetime type
It
show.
was a medical show?
Yeah, it's a medical show.
Oh.
I mean, it's about doctors and nurses and
In affairs,
it's-
doctors
okay.
and nurses getting it on.
it's
Okay.
a prime
In the
time
back
soap
room.
opera.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But you had Dr. McSteamy, and he was
I
quite
want to see a
steamy.
behind the scenes thing on the post office. What goes on behind the scenes?
No, you would
after
not want to know.
hours. Yes, I do.
My sister-in-law always claimed
I
she was
have
going to
an-
write a book.
I have an inquiring mind. I want to know. Tell me.
Believe me,
They have all those carts back there.
There's nothing to know. Those carts are on wheels.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
there you go.
Hey, honey, you want
You said
a
it.
ride?
Uh,
This is a confusing one. Out in Colorado. This should go without saying, right?
right. Colorado.
Cemetery.
What?
A cemetery there. The
Cemetery.
owners of the cemetery, the people who run the cemetery, have ordered a headstone for two brothers has got to go. It's been there for 5 years. The headstone contains images of the middle finger, prominently displayed. Sisters Heidi and Holly Geschke and their families recently removed black tape from a headstone for the brothers. The tape was placed there because the headstone contains images that were deemed inappropriate. Is there freedom of speech here? Oh, no, not really. The monument has been at Evergreen Cemetery in Colorado Springs for 5 years now. To have a family come in after so many years and tell them that we have to redo this over again, nobody wants to do it in the first place. That's what one of the sisters, Heidi, said. On the headstone are images of the middle finger. The cemetery manager said the headstone now
Mhm.
has to be removed because they
Have rules.
They
and
try to do
restrictions.
things.
Right.
the rules state that a headstone cannot be profane or offensive to the general public. Okay. Would you consider in this day and age for the average American citizen that's going to be visiting the cemetery to be offensive or profane to the general public? What does the middle finger mean?
You're number one.
No.
What the?
So the middle finger, the general
Well, I think everybody knows.
is
Yeah.
a U.
Mhm.
That's part of that phrase.
Means go
So-
take a trip.
If
Down
the
south.
headstone, if the manager in the cemetery obviously has received complaints, that may have been overlooked by most people.
Mhm.
Not everybody goes to a cemetery and just goes gravestone to gravestone looking at it, but there are a lot of people who do. You've been guilty of it. You've been guilty of it. I've been guilty of it. You just go when you happen to be in an area, particularly if it is a very historic area. I've gone in Wilmington from stone to stone looking at some of those things from the Civil War.
I have
Yeah.
bukus of pictures of the old headstones as you go into the veteran cemetery here off of
Okay.
Montfort Lane.
Yeah.
And
The veteran
I do
cemetery.
that. My sister and I, we went to Savannah, Georgia. We went to no cemetery there. I think we read every tombstone.
Had
Every
a
headstone.
Did you?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Kathy wants to do that.
at a primitive Baptist church up in here in Onslow County. No, it's not. It's just outside Onslow County.
Mhm.
It's a little circle from the 1800s. Plane was built in the 1700s. There's a graveyard there associated with the church. There are wooden tombstones,
Mhm.
just the wooden tombstone. You've seen them in,
Right.
in old westerns and stuff like. They are legitimate wooden tombstones. Most of them are not. You can't read anything on them anymore, but some of them are broken off, rotted away, or whatever. But it's there. The cemetery manager said the tombstone, the whole headstone, now has to be removed because the rules have been violated, and the sisters or whoever, somebody put tape over the middle finger,
Yeah, they did.
and then the sisters or whoever removed the tape, so they were not abiding by it.
Well,
So now they've got to take the headstone off.
I don't see why they have to take the whole headstone. Have somebody go out there and chisel.
Well, I'm sure that they can
Around-
make it right, but they have
Right.
failed to do so over a period of 5
It's
years.
been 5 years. Yes. Yes.
So now the manager has had it.
Yeah, they were told that it violated the regulations and rules at the cemetery. But why would you?
Heidi and Holly said they think the images are okay.
Why would you want to put that on a headstone?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, there are interesting headstones dating back forever and ever and ever. What was it?
Yes.
Sure, the one in the West was here lies Les Moore, died in the hands of a 44, no less, no more. Or something like that. I mean, there
Let's
are
see
some
what we
interesting
got.
ones over the decades
Yeah.
and hundreds of years. That one, for some reason, stuck in my mind. It was close to that. The family says they're not going to remove or redo the headstone. Well, folks, you
Well-
can rest assured you can find said headstone in the nearest garbage bin because they're going to take it up, and I don't blame them. These are our rules. If you want to take your brother, go ahead to the courts and get the papers, and you can have him moved.
Yeah.
You can do that
Get
too.
an exhumed.
You don't like that place, like the way they do it, then I would take that tombstone with me now and go find me a place to put him.
Well, here's some interesting ones. You know, Mel Blanc. He was the
The voice of.
voice over for Bugs Bunny, Woody Woodpecker, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, blah,
I
blah,
bet he
blah.
got confused. from
Anyway,
time
on
to
his headstone, it says, "That's all, folks."
No blank.
That's fine.
Yes, that's all, folks.
time. That-
Merv Griffin, his says, "I will not be right back after this message."
See, those are not profane. They're
Right.
not. They're just there.
William Hahn Jr., Princeton, New Jersey, his says, "I told you I was sick."
Yeah, there's been a lot of them to say that.
Wow. Yeah. But I do not see on any of these a middle finger. Yeah, I have to say that the middle finger on the tombstone, gravestone is probably a little much.
We all know what it means.
Headstone,
Everybody
yes.
knows what it
Yeah,
means.
we know.
If you hadn't, so New York will explain it to you,
Wow.
Or Joycey.
or Joycey.
Yeah, Billy Wilder. I'm a writer, but then nobody's perfect. Perfect
Okay.
turn of phrase. He was an 8-time Academy Award winner who wrote the screenplay for
No, he was.
and directed Jack Lemmon in Some Like It Hot. Oh my gosh, here's one right here. They're on their tombstone. Oh, God, get off it. It says, "There goes the neighborhood."
the
Rodney Dangerfield.
sure. They're in the Guthrie case. A lot of the neighbors apparently are, even those that had alarm systems.
Mhm.
Yes.
They have added cameras up the yin yang.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
mhm.
they're adding them constantly. I don't know about this. Trump got a little unhappy, and I have to agree with him.
I know what you're gonna say.
Don't
I
agree with
agree.
him a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I got to agree with him.
It's Timmy.
This baloney about whoever released to the media that they had what they call a Bluetooth sniffer, and they were using it in the sheriff's helicopter to fly over the area,
Pacemaker.
looking for her pacemaker
Mhm.
from the air. So whoever released that, what in the Sam Hill were you thinking? So Trump, I have to agree with you, and that's not often the case. So anyway,
Yes.
you say this is Timmy.
Yes.
Oh, Timmy, I've apologized already. I'm sorry.
I don't even know what you're apologizing for, but it was all right.
You didn't hear me apologize to you and
I-
Theo Jr. and all of Theo's friends.
I did not hear it. I don't even know what you're apologizing for. And if as long as I've known you, you ain't got to apologize to me.
Well,
I don't know what you said.
I kind of, made light of your four-legged friends there,
Oh yeah,
the jackasses. Yeah, I referred to an individual yesterday
Uh-oh.
as one in a very not nice way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the four shoes fit.
He had the four shoes, and
Of course, yeah.
anyway,
That's cool.
he was making statements, and he got my goat, and I told him all about part of his posterior, and I demeaned all of your friends out there, Theo Jr. included,
Yeah.
and all of
Oh,
his friends.
Oh, well,
I apologize to them profusely.
Oh, well, you ain't the only one that's ever done that, and I always thought it was funny, but hey, you ain't going to apologize.
Well, I told my people this morning I had to apologize, make an apology first thing this morning, so that was my apology.
Lord have mercy. That's cool.
I insulted your friends.
Well, the thing about it is they didn't care. If they'd have heard it, they wouldn't have cared. The only thing they care about is when they get their next bale of hay.
No, that's okay. We'll give them an extra bale of hay from me.
I gave late yesterday evening, so they're happy for a little while. But the reason I was calling you were talking about the middle finger. They were making them take it up, and that's the first time I'd ever known. Truthfully, that was in the movie The Sons of Katie Elder. There was a tombstone there in the graveyard that had a fist, and I can't remember the actor's name. They said it had a finger sticking up, but somebody shot it off during target practice. And when y'all were talking about it, it made me think about that. And I got to tell them that. I mean, that's the only one I've ever heard. My daddy would have loved to have that on his tombstone, but that weren't had.
No,
No. He wouldn't have done. I mean, if I'd have suggested it to him, oh yeah, put it up there, put it up. I can hear him now. But no, I mean, I don't think Oslo Memorial Park would have let that happen to
no.
start with. So no, it was fine.
Nope, they would
No,
not.
gonna have to go
that
out
was
there.
my little deal.
Okay.
But no, y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy the
right.
show. I got to listen to part of it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Timmy.
Well, I'll see y'all Tuesday.
Bye, Tim.
It'll be late, but I'll see you Tuesday.
I'll
All
see you
right.
Tuesday.
We'll see you then.
All right.
Better late than never.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
Okay.
we come to the end of another day, another week,
Another
another
week.
Friday down the drain.
And don't
Just
forget,
beginning.
tomorrow morning is your opportunity to go have coffee with the senator.
Yes.
9 to 10:30 at the Jacksonville Rotary Center, which is on Newbridge Street, right directly across the street from the post office, City Hall.
Do they
So,
have anything besides coffee?
I don't know. Maybe they might have some donuts in there, Rayford. I imagine they probably will.
How about the drink? I mean,
Oh, I
like
imagine
hot
they'll have
chocolate?
water or
Ugh,
whatever.
Don't
And
you
I'm
know-
sure
don't
that
you-
if Melinda knows you're coming, she's going to make sure
Don't
that
you
you have
know
something
what-
special.
don't you know what fish do in water?
Blah,
Yep.
blah, blah.
Everything.
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 Why are you ruining water for us all now?
I got
Oh,
pictures of
different
fish
flower
doing
town.
everything in water too. You want to see them? I'll show them to you at breakfast one day.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, good opportunity to talk with your senator and veterans. It is a fantastic opportunity for you to go talk to the senators.
Yeah.
So, that's Charlie calling again. Charlie,
Okay,
we're past time.
we got to go.
Gotta go.
It's after hours. Okay, we will see you guys on Monday morning. Congressman Dr. Murphy will
That's
be joining us at 7:30
Yes,
on
he
Monday
will.
morning, special edition. They've been kind of crazy up there in D.C., and they haven't gotten over it either. So it's just like, you got to be kidding me. Meanwhile, have a great weekend, y'all. Be careful.
the real high is
We got
also
some
going to-
challenging
yeah.
weather, with rain and all
Mhm.
that stuff. And while it's not like snow, it can cause a lot of slip sliding.
Yeah.
And we got some fog today, and I don't know what the rest of the weekend's going to bring. So be careful. We'll see you Monday morning. Have a
Blessed
great
weekend.
weekend. You're
Bye.
live and local Real Talk, where we're awake, not woke, and hopefully we'll be that way forevermore. Bye.